What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Randy here with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you another amazing video today. We are playing the Lord of the Rings Rise to War, and yes, I got hit in the head with a bat or something, or maybe it was a mosquito bite, squisher, I can't tell you. Anyways, in today's video, we are talking about Isildur, okay? This is the R5 ranged nuke cannon Isildur build that's been running around for the past few days. I believe it started on the Kraken group at the end of last season, and is now becoming more and more used in the last 48 hours of PvP against KSEL and KOGR. I've seen maybe 4 different players with this Isildur build, almost the exact same build. So let's talk about it, talk about why it's successful, and go on from there, okay? Obviously, shout out to KS Nightmare. This guy got him an Isildur to level 48. My king is only level 44. We are on day 11 of Season 6 for servers at 116. Very impressive to have a 48 this early, so shout out for that, okay? Into the builds themselves. I'll start with 20 seconds on the Witch King, then I'll move to Isildur, because that's what you care about. The Witch King build is currently a physical damage hybrid build, where I am putting points into the R5 tree in order to gain Chaotic Retreat, as well as Dishearten. Okay, I'm running Berserkers mixed with Alchemists. I am running on low on Berserkers. There should be more Berserkers in this fight. And then item-wise, right, I've got Reckoning. I've got Superior Hjörbjörk. I've got Anti-Madness on the helmet. And then I have Pursuit on my accessory, okay? That's the Witch King build. Now into the Isildur build, which is what you really care about, right? This is what you want to see. Let me move my face out of the way. So, this seems to be pretty standard for the KSEL and KOGR groups. Like I said, I've faced 4 or 5 people running this build over the past 2 days. All in all, it focuses on plus 12 attack to range through the equipment here, 9% damage. So we have 3 attack on the bow, we have 3 attack on the shroud, we've got 3 attack on the helmet, and then 3 attack on the Wizard's Firework plus Pursuit. This is the big deal. Pursuit's super duper key for this build, okay? You need Pursuit, and all of this attack damage is going to be phenomenal, okay? Now, unit-wise, the Wozus Hunter seems to be extremely powerful and extremely popular for all of the players running this build. They're all using Wozus Hunters. Why are they using Wozus Hunters? Well, they do apply additional 20% damage dealt as poison, which is great. That will bypass defense, so unless someone's running high alert, this will be just a pure 20% damage add. All right. Ambush tactics. This is really, really strong. This is going to give these units the ability to have initiative for the first 4 rounds. Based on their horrible speed, base speed of 50, these units are absolutely terrible and terribly slow without the initiative. So it's nice that they have this innate ability. So they will strike first against the Witch King. They will not for the first 2 rounds, because my initiative is against units with stronger speed. But in rounds 3 and 4, the Wozus Hunters will hit me first. Okay? And then lastly, Forest Protection reduces the poison damage they received. Not super duper key in this fight. Okay? Overall, half decent damage, right? I mean, it's not great. You're looking at 30% lower damage than Sentinels. So at the end of the day, Sentinels will deal significantly more damage than the Wozus Hunters. We'll talk about this in a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what the Wozus Hunters really bring to the table in this build, besides the fact that they have their own self-buffed initiative. Maybe this is what they're bringing, because this damage compared to the Sentinel damage, I'm going to pull up in 1 second, is pitiful. The 27 to 32 buff damage versus the Sentinels, right, is going to be 41 to 42. So 41 to 42 versus 27 to 32. That is a 30% increase in damage, just flat damage that the Sentinels are dealing. So that makes me think, to myself, really they're only here for the initiative. Okay, they're here to get some first strikes in, which seems wasted for Isildur. We'll talk about that in a second, all right? Next, we have Sharpshooters, which deal great damage for the first couple rounds. These guys really complement Isildur nice, because in rounds 1 and 2, you'll have the Enfeeble buff from the Madness from round 1. In round 2, you will have the bonuses from Isildur's great, his bottom R0 tree. We'll talk about that in 2 seconds. So this is going to be very useful for the first 2 rounds of the fight to help you get ahead in damage. All of these things combine, the initiative, the high damage of the Sentinels, and the huge burst in the early rounds from the sharpshooters is going to help them pull ahead early in the fight, really bringing out some pew-pew. Okay? Skills. Let's talk about skills. We have this bottom R0 tree maxed out. This is the Great King. This is going to be like plus damage for rounds 2, 3, and 4. Damage reduction in round 1. We have Enfeeble, which is going to be madness for the enemy for 40% increased damage received. And then Consequence of Greed is 7 points in order to gain 1 round of madness. I dislike this skill very much. I'm not going to talk any more about it. I would not recommend this skill. That's it. That's all I can say. Okay. Next, he's got points in the R3 tree here in order to gain a little bit of +2 attack for his men units from Dunedain Bloodline. Then we have some points in Champion of Light, which is going to be some bonus damage. And lastly, his R5 tree is almost maxed out. It'll probably be maxed out soon. Last Alliance, this really makes and breaks this build. The Last Alliance ability enables your ranged units, right? He's using all damage. He has no tanks. He's using damage, damage, damage. Wozus Hunter, Sentinels, Sharpshooters. Damage, damage, damage. Nobody here is tanky. They're all squishy and they explode on contact, right? All squishy and explode on contact. So, he is making these units very, very tanky with the Last Alliance ability, which is the same one Arwen has that dramatically reduces damage received. Okay? Coalition. This is the big deal. This is going to give his Sentinels 75% chance to have initiative every round. This is going to give his men units 75% chance to deal their maximum damage every round. Okay? So this will increase the men damage by 20-25% average over 10 rounds, plus give his Sentinels initiative. Very, very strong. And lastly, he's got points in Free Peoples, which will give you reduced damage received, okay? Free Peoples combined with Last Alliance is massive damage mitigation, all right? So that is what makes this build so strong. He dramatically reduces all damage his units receive for the first 7 hits. They're all ranged glass cannons, so they put out a lot of damage, and he's able to keep them alive. Now, how did the build perform? Let's take a look. Again, keep in mind, I'm running a Physical Alchemist hybrid here. It performs very well against Gandalf's and a few other commanders. I smashed them, but it did not perform very well against this glass cannon Isildur. Okay? If we go on over into the Isildur's damage, I skipped that, sorry. You can see that the primary damage here was the Sentinels. Next highest damage was his Sharpshooters, and then the Wozus Hunters at the bottom really didn't have a whole lot to say. They got smacked in damage. All right, let's take a look at the first 3 rounds of the fight. Maybe round 4, we'll decide how we feel about it. We'll take a look. Okay, here we go. All right. Last Alliance. So, Great King is going to dramatically reduce my Alchemist damage in round 1. I want to point that out. Very, very effective for damage mitigation. Really complements his Last Alliance ability. You basically deal no damage in round 1. It is what it is. Okay? All right, let me go to the bottom here. All right. So here we have round 1, folks. The Berserkers, 2,000 Berserkers hitting the Wozus Hunters for only 3,600 damage. Only a single attack here. I did not get follow-up. The Alchemist did get a follow-up, and they came in and punched the Wozus Hunter in the face for 10k. The Sharpshooters for 8k. Then the Wozus comes in, putting some damage out, right? Where's the Sentinels? Sentinels coming in damage. Sharpshooters coming in with heavy damage. So really, really Sharpshooters here helping you gain the advantage early on in the fight. Let's take a look at round 2, where now his units gain plus 38% damage from the Great King. Very, very strong there. Okay. All right. Berserkers coming in. Double strike on the Wozus. I'm really eating away at Wozus' damage mitigation, but he's still taking huge damage mitigation. Sentinels hitting for 18k. The Alchemist coming in here, smacking the Sharpshooters and the Wozus, still putting out good damage. Okay, the Alchemist, 35,000 damage output in round 2. Not too shabby. And then let's go find those Sharpshooters. Here we go. Sharpshooters, 20k damage to my Alchemist. They absolutely shredded them. Very powerful. And now in round 3, we'll see the Sentinels and the Wozus Hunters hitting first because they have initiative. Look at that. They have initiative and pursuit. Okay, the Wozus Hunters getting some half-decent damage out. Not too bad. The Berserkers coming in hot and heavy, hitting the Sharpshooters. Sharpshooters hitting the Berserkers back. And here we go, attacking the Sentinels, who still have their 90% buff. Really, really powerful, guys, that ability. The Sentinels and the Wozus just keep hitting first. Oh my goodness, a lot of damage output. Dramatic damage output there, guys. And I am melting people with the Alchemists here. You know, and if this was an Alchemist-focused build, maybe I would have done better. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Just shredding my units in round 3, guys. I mean, round 5. The Berserkers are dead. The Alchemists are taking full damage. Just getting smackarooed. Okay. So that's the fight. As you can see, dramatic damage mitigation for the first couple rounds of the fight with the Last Alliance ability. Plus huge damage output in rounds 2, 3, and 4 because Isildur does give those units plus 38% damage dealt for 3 rounds. So very, very powerful build. I think if I ran pure Alchemist burn damage build, I might have won. However, with this hybrid physical damage build, I definitely got smacked. So shout out to KS Nightmare for the fight. Love you guys a long time. Go ahead and like and sub if you enjoyed this video. Okay, Randy out.